The relationship between the PGA of America and our nation's military dates all the way back to World War I. For nearly a century, the PGA's commitment to our nation's heroes has not wavered. David Windsor, the PGA Director of Golf for the Adaptive Golf Academy, personifies this commitment. He has instructed adaptive golf classes designed for physically or cognitively challenged juniors, adults, and disabled veterans every week for 15 years. He also trains PGA professionals in the new PGA HOPE markets, the signature military program of PGA REACH. Let's learn more about our Patriot Award winner, David Windsor. Fridays at Terrace Hill Golf Club near Tampa are like no other.
I have always worked my entire schedule around being here on Fridays. He says, how would you like to start a program here for disabled vets? And I thought, well, why not?
A handful of us came out here one Friday morning, and there were PGA instructors to get us to swing a golf club.
You guys been introduced to Fireball over here?
Fireball is David Windsor.
Today embarks on our 8th year anniversary in conjunction with the Tampa VA.
Though that nickname relates to his kart driving skills, he could easily describe his dedication when it comes to adaptive golf.
You know you got him after one clinic. That's all it takes.
Did it right, the club came down in the right angle, you broke the tee, and voila!
Yes, I did it! They really needed more than just bingo bowling and barbecues.
The solution? Fellowship with other veterans and the chance to play a few holes. A concept that's become proven therapy at VA hospitals in 23 states.
There's more than just golf happening.
What do we have here?
There's healing happening.
I suffered from PTSD for 20 years and didn't know it.
It's hard for people to understand when somebody with PTSD sits home and doesn't do anything because they know they can't.
Now you're gonna feel this.
Sometimes you can see the transformation right in front of you.
Beautiful. I'll just come out here and be able to tag a couple of balls, and it relieves a lot of stress.
You just don't know how a golf lesson can impact somebody's life.
Dave knows, and through his leadership as national coach and trainer for PGA HOPE, his impact has been profound.
Has anyone ever seen one of these?
By developing workshops that educate his colleagues and enable them to share the game.
The advantage of having that loop right there, even if they were missing a couple digits or they had any type of nerve issue where they couldn't hold the club, now they can swing through, and even if they let go, they're not worried about letting the club go. The PGA HOPE initiative is really what has turned the corner with training coaches and really breaking down those intimidation barriers that I certainly felt when I first was involved.
You know, this is new math to me.
The biggest thing is we involve them. So we involve them in hitting a golf ball from a seated position. We involve them in blinding one eye.
So my elbow is gonna be right here, and a lot of times they just wanna kind of hold your elbow.
All right. Then they're so excited to be able to pass that on to their community.
Dave is a hero. He's changed so many people, veterans and civilians.
I had a stroke on the golf course. Dave taught me how to play golf with one-handed.
I'm inspired by the fact that they're willing to give it a shot. They're willing to not give in to their circumstance. He's the North American one-arm champion 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'll still play golf some way or another.
Hey, how you doing?
There's certainly people that will tell you under the cuff. They'll come up and say, this has saved my life. It makes you sigh and think, yeah, there's something pretty powerful happening.
'Cause I'm gonna stand by you.
You need not wear a uniform to be a patriot. Khakis suffice when your calling is to serve those who have served us.
I think it validates what his life ambition has been.
When I reflect back and I think about the past 15 years, I know this is where I needed to be.
I'm gonna stand by you.
And we are glad you are where you needed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fireball. Wow, that was compelling. Can you tell me what it's like to watch a disabled veteran hit a golf ball for the first time or again, knowing you were instrumental in enabling him or her to do that?
Well, it really showed right there, and we know that a picture or a video can speak heavier than words, but it could be total triumph, jubilation right there when you see somebody. And that's just how I feel. There's just a wave of just emotions that pour into that at that moment. And so many of us in the room are doing things to make the game easier. And when we understand where someone might have come from, and if we kind of use a few tricks of the trade to make that a successful experience, then that's the feeling of we did it, and we did it together. But for the veteran, we've heard the term, it provides me a new sense of hope. And that key word is optimism, and it just gives them a whole new direction going forward. And where it even means more is due to the fact of where they might have come from and the epidemic that our country faces with 22 veterans a day average committing suicide, and the invisible wounds that affect hundreds of thousands of our veterans. And to know that that person has that new trek of pursuit of the game of golf, that means the world.
So many of us try in the meager ways that we can to heal those invisible wounds of which you just spoke. When you have a PGA member, PGA of America professional, who's thinking about teaching adaptive golf programs, what words of advice would you give them?
And I'm pleased to say we have a lot of them out there that have been doing it for many more years than I've been involved with adaptive golf. But a key aspect of anyone thinking to start a program, it's get involved with others. And I mean, Billy Hughes, he I think said it in his PGA Magazine article, and that really hit home to me. And we have to remember that the game, it's more than the game. We're in the people business. And we are impacting lives more than we can think of each and every day. And another key is being consistent and having that weekly program that we developed years ago, and meeting Ken June at Temple Terrace in Florida, where we combined with our Tampa VA. That has been the key. And now with PGA HOPE, talk about consistency, talk about just be able to drop in programs all across the country and replicate. That's making its mark.
There was a physical therapist with whom you worked and was instrumental in inspiring you to use golf as rehabilitation. Can you tell us a bit about that person quickly?
Yeah, thanks for asking. That was a turning point in my career. And his name was Paul Goodlander, physical therapist. And he really showed me that people are going to adapt. And he really helped me break down my own intimidation barriers, because I was feeling, how can I really help this person that's coming in a wheelchair, or someone that is impaired completely on their left or right side? And he really proved, hey, here's the welcome mat. And this is what PGA HOPE is doing. This is the mark that we're taking on with them through a grant with the Department of Veterans Affairs, through our Adaptive Golf Association. And, you know, we're making a great team. So the welcome mat that I'm now carrying it on behalf of the PGA America and all of us working 28,000 professionals, or to the veterans. And if there's a veteran out there that has any connection to get involved in the game, we welcome to do so, because you made a choice to serve our country and provide our freedoms, and it's our time to serve you.
Well, you're a shining example of what this association does well. Ladies and gentlemen, David Windsor.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you. How are you? Your dad is right over there. This is Mia's sister, David's daughter. She wanted a cameo. And she got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Little Windsor.